Bam! You're tuned in to the BAMBIZTALK podcast, where we explore the thrilling world of entrepreneurship through the eyes of successful business owners themselves. I'm your humbly eccentric host, Angel Garcia, co-founder of the BAM Entrepreneurial Center. Each episode, we delve deep into the unique stories of entrepreneurs who've navigated the ups and downs of the business world to give you the opportunity to learn from both their triumphs as well as their challenges, providing actionable insights to propel your own entrepreneurial journey. So, let's dive in and walk the path of entrepreneurship together. Welcome to the BAMBIZTALK podcast, your beacon for building business success. Bam! Man, I'm excited for today. We've done a podcast with you guys before, and it's been a long time coming. We've been wanting to do it again, but I think this is a great time. So welcome back, Pachucos, Ruben and Idalia.
Hey. What up?
What up?
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's an honor to have you guys on the podcast, but also to have as people in my life. And I appreciate y'all too very much. Y'all are a great example of what an entrepreneur, business owner, just authentic people who have a vision and a purpose to do it. And then it gets done, right?
Yeah. Well, we couldn't do it without great people in our lives.
Absolutely.
Since way into our journey, you guys have been there. On our last podcast, we were barely getting into the restaurant, finishing it up, and then we did it. And Michael was with us, and then we're blessed to be able to do that first podcast with Michael and you, and it was awesome. It was one of the last times I got to talk to Michael, and it was really awesome, and we were blessed to be able to experience that with him. Michael's very special to me. The short time that I knew him, a couple of years that I knew him, he's one of the few people that I really looked up to. I don't have a lot of role models in my life. Yeah, he was one of those people. Very special person, and somebody I really look up to, just of learning his journey and knowing all the things that he's done. I've done a lot of things in my life, and it's a lonely road, and a lot of people don't understand me. That man understood me, right, in a very short time that he knew me. It was special, it was awesome. I felt seen, and it was awesome. So it was a blessing. Those people are few and far between. And it was a blessing to know them and to know you. And you guys have been a huge part of our journey. And we've gained so much value from BAM and from you, Angel, and from Mr. Crane and Miss Andrew, for that matter.
Absolutely.
It's been awesome in growing with you guys, and I can't say enough great things about you guys. It's just beautiful. Life has its ups and downs, but that's the point. That's the journey, and we're happy to be here. We don't come from we don't come from this. We just made a plan, decided to do something, and hit it. That's it.
That is what it is, right? You plan it and you hit it. And that's the simplicity of Michael's teachings too. He did that, and he loved you guys, right? He loved you guys as people, and then he loved what you were doing, right? The way you did it, right? Your menu, right? You blew his mind when we went to go check your food truck out at Tall City. And we saw the peanut butter jalapeno jelly jam. Like, wait, what? And and Michael, he had his own restaurant. He was a chef himself. So he had experimented with a lot, and he knew what to put with what and what to pair it, how to cook it. He knew.
He thinks in layers.
Right? Yeah. But then when you brought that out, his mind was blown. He was like, "What? I don't know." I was like, "Let's try it." And he's like, "Yeah."
I need that plum sauce.
Man,
he made it for me. It was awesome. Yeah. But I never got the recipe.
It's got to be there somewhere.
No worries. I'll recreate it. It won't be as good as his, but
yeah, no, and he was always very proud of y'all.
no. Awesome.
Just because you actually went all the way through our program.
Yeah.
You went all the way through the curriculum, and not just went through it and said, okay, yeah, I finished it, but actually applied it.
Yeah.
And learn from it, and would ask questions, and say, hey, I'm going through this part, and he was like, okay, this is great. This is I think pretty close to his exact words. Like, this is what it's about.
Right.
This is how it's supposed to be. This is why I wrote this curriculum.
Yeah.
And like to see the light in his eyes, because he's a teacher, he's a professor,
Yeah.
right? So when he sees that light go off in his students' eyes,
Yeah.
that's what gets him.
So when I involve myself in things, I think in levels too. So when I involve myself in things, I put myself in, why did somebody create this? Why are they doing something? So when I saw that and I saw who you guys were, you guys are wanting to help people.
Yeah.
You're not doing this for anything else but wanting to change people's lives, because that's what fulfills you guys.
Right.
And it's not about money. This is not about money for us. Money will come.
Yeah.
This it's a purpose. It's one of my favorite words, by the way.
Yes.
You probably hear me. It makes me sound smarter, because I'm not. I'm just a regular dude, just doing stuff. I try to use common sense as much as possible and hard work. You create your own luck, but I break things down. So when I work with people, I really break it down. Why are they doing something? And some people might take that the wrong way. People that are trying to help people out, I break it down. Why are you doing something?
Right.
And if something doesn't jam, something looks weird, I don't mess with it.
Right.
Because you don't check, it doesn't check off. It's if it's about helping people, you better be helping people.
Right.
If it's a business, it's a business. Let's be real. And that's going back into why we created the food truck battle. That was highlighting food trucks, but at the base of it, that was to help people in organizations that needed help.
Right.
And during that process, some of these nonprofits, it's a business, bona fide businesses. And that kind of jaded me a little bit. But at the end of it, they are helping people, but I guess I just see things a little bit differently. So, but yeah, when I saw that, and I was like, okay, now I'm gonna invest myself. Yeah. And you guys were that. I was like, man, that's beautiful. And you guys, your program laid it out. BAM laid it out, and everything that I needed to, really break down my business, and things that I needed to look at. Some things that I knew, and some things that I didn't know. Some things that I needed to look at. And that was so important. And it was beautiful because now I could talk to my wife. She was going through her MBA at that time, and she was talking about some stuff, and I was like, yeah, I already know that. I could talk to her about this thing. So it was
awesome.
It was beautiful because she's way smarter than I am, and I'm just a hammer swinger. So but yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. What's that?
So I did that too. I was out there swinging a hammer with you.
No, she's by my calculations. Yeah, she's an engineer, so.
No, well, I that's another beautiful part of it. Y'all guys make a good team. You complement each other very well. And Michael recognized that. He saw that, and when you were going through the program, you were connecting dots. Like you said, some things you knew, some things you didn't, but it was the in between, right? The connection, the connective tissue that makes it happen.
Yeah.
And that was his purpose, to help people just like you connect those dots,
right?
And then create something awesome, right? Like if y'all can't see, we're here in it. We're in Pachuco Mecca right here. We're downtown Midland in a legit historic building.
Yeah, this place has soul. Truly.
Place has soul. Yeah, I mean it's a Johnny's Barbecue's old old house, and it started what, 50 something in the 50s?
Yeah, 1953.
It's 50.
And it was a shop before that, you know. This is why it has a ramp to the door, because they drive cars in here.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It was never made to be a restaurant, let alone a busy restaurant. So y'all stop putting paper towels down the toilet. For real.
For real.
It's
yeah, old pipes,
it's
man.
a pain. You know, a lot of people depend on the livelihood of this restaurant. So please help us out.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
It's important, man, because so talking about, I mean, as a business owner, right? You have to think about that. You those are consequences.
Yeah,
but people don't think.
Well, people don't live outside themselves, and that's, as a business owner, you have to live outside yourself. And if you don't, that's why a lot of businesses fail. They don't live outside themselves. They don't think about those things. They don't think about the people. They don't think about their customers. They don't think about their employees. You know, to be a successful business owner, you have to constantly live outside yourself. Point blank.
Right.
You know, you have to think constantly have to be on, you know, for your family, for your employees, for your bills, for your customers, all of it, you know. Unfortunately, I'm built like that, you know. That's a life that I've lived all the time, you know, and that's getting back to, you know, everything that you've gone through. Like, if you've been through a lot, respect it. There's a point for it. Don't ever give up. There's always a point for it.
Right.
It's up to you to choose what you do with that. You know, use that as motivation. All right, went through all this bad stuff. What did I learn out of that? What can I do differently? You know, it's all tools, good and bad.
Yeah.
You know, it's all experiences. I really truly feel that life is experiences and emotions. That's it. You know. And you know, the way I see my life is, how do I want to live my life? It's legacy. The end of my life, did I help people, and what I learned? You know, that goes back to experiences, emotions. So, you know, that's how I'm going to live my life.
Yeah, that's the baseline, right? That's the core of what it is. Everything else you build on top of that, right? Because that's like a foundation.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a big reason why you are successful, right? And as business owners, if you're not looking at, if you don't understand your customer, for one, right, that you're gonna fail.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
Right.
You know,
Your market.
Like, you got to know your market, you know, and what levels within that market. You know, if you just, you know, everybody's gonna eat my food.
You gotta understand your market, and you got to understand who is in your market. That's who we're getting into now. We're getting into our untapped markets, and with that comes good and bad. You know what I mean? So that and that's just like with the radio. You know, those aren't our customers.
Right.
So, you know, there's good and bad for that, and that's what we're preparing for. But you know, that's why we're doing things that we do, and that goes back to SWOT analysis and everything else, you know, and that's all the stuff that we gain from, you know, BAM and you know, the Entrepreneurial Challenge, and you know, and the things that she learned through getting through her MBA, and the tools that we utilize.
Yeah, the challenge, right, man? You guys were the big winners coming out.
Yeah, man, it's 3 years. We weren't gonna do it this year.
The charm.
We weren't gonna do it this year, but
What made y'all decide? Say, yeah, let's do it one more time.
nah.
I got nothing to lose.
Yeah, no. For me, I always say, honestly, like, I always just like, when it comes to a decision for me, I always just say fuck it. Honestly, I just say screw it. Let's do it.
No.
I mean, that's not probably the best decision-making skills, but that's just how I think.
Sometimes it works.
It's worked so far.
Yeah, that's just what I do every time. Yeah.
Right. I think that, but at the same time, I bet you there are those points where you say the opposite. Like, nah, and then move on.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. If it even crosses my mind, like, should I do something, I usually just say, nah, let's do it. because I'm gonna learn something from it either way.
That's true.
Because if it's even a possibility, because if it's not a possibility, I won't even think about it. So that's, I'd rather try it and gain that experience.
Yeah, if you're faced with something and there's even that inkling, right? You get that intuition.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what we ride on. We ride on that intuition. And there's that book, Blink. Have you read it? You know about it?
I don't know what I read.
Well, the premise of it is that, how you get that gut feeling, right? Talking about the intuition. And people always attribute, the etheric world or, spiritual and God and all that. But this book explains that it is on a soul level spirit, but also your entire body, you're taking in everything, all the information without even consciously knowing you're taking in that information.
I think we're more powerful than we realize.
Right.
Hey there, bookworms and knowledge seekers. Ever wished you could find everything you need in one place? Look no further than the Ector County Library. We're not just about books, though we've got plenty of those, from the latest page-turners to classic favorites. We're talking free high-speed internet, tech classes to boost your skills, and awesome programs for all ages. Kids can dive into storytime adventures, teens can hang out and study, and adults can join book clubs or learn something new. There's always something exciting happening at the library. So whether you're a student looking for homework help, a job seeker needing resources, or just someone who loves to learn, we've got you covered. Swing by your local Ector County Library and see what we're all about. It's more than just books. It's a whole world of possibilities. Ector County Library. Your adventure starts here.
The BAM Biz Talk podcast is brought to you by our sponsor, Pachuco's Restaurant. Craving authentic and eclectic cuisine in Midland? Well, Pachuco's has you covered. Located in downtown Midland at the ever so legendary and iconic historic building at 316 North Big Spring Street, Pachuco's blends rich and unique flavors in a conveniently pleasant and vibrant atmosphere. Enjoy the highest quality barbecue, savory tacos, burgers, and a variety of other mouth-watering dishes that reflect the spirit of a true Pachuco cuisine. Real, authentic, and just plain different. Check out their menu at www.pachucos432.com or call 432-218-8806 to inquire, or better yet, just show up and get your shine on at Pachucos, where heritage, exquisite taste, and hospitality come together for an unforgettable dining experience. Pachucos, Midland, Texas. Now back to the show. 100%. And we don't even, exactly. We don't realize we're putting all this information, condensing it, distilling it down, and then making a split decision without even knowing we made a decision.
I mean, you don't even realize that you're breathing. Like, there's so many things that you don't even realize that you're doing.
Right.
So just that tells you right there.
Mm-hmm. And if you second guess yourself on that initial instinct, you're usually going to be wrong about it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And
that's why I think like that. Like, it's like across my mind is like, if I even think about it, I do it.
Right. That's the I had a
that might be ADHD, but I've also gained a lot out of that. That's also why I'm in this building. I learned about it and I got the number and I called right away, and she's like, "What are you doing?" Like, we thought we maybe would think about being in a restaurant like in 10 years. This was never on the horizon. Never. We didn't.
Y'all got here quick.
I mean, but that's to show you, like, you don't have to work in a restaurant. You don't have to do anything. Just if you really want to do something and you see an opportunity, don't waste it. Like,
right.
You're not less than. If you really believe in yourself and ready to put in the work, you're not less than. You can do it. We're proof of that.
Right.
We didn't work in a restaurant. Everything that we know is from that food truck. But we cared about that. We built that. We gained the tools. We learned a lot, and I put in the work. There's a lot to be said when you put in that work. We failed a lot. I hurt myself, like literally blood, sweat, and tears. Literally.
Yeah.
Even in here, I built this thing, and I built this thing like a big food truck. You know, I build processes. You know, like I said, I think in levels. I build processes, and I built this like a big food truck. You know, and the way I train my employees is like they're working in a big food truck. You know, I want everybody to do everything, because once everybody is on that same level, they're all synced up.
Right.
You know, everybody knows their place. You know, you don't have a fucking station. You're not doing this and that, right? It just makes them more versatile. And also, like, if this isn't your end spot, you can go fucking make your own food truck. You might make your own restaurant. You can. It's just that level of thinking of building things in levels and processes. Where if you want to get out of the restaurant business, the way of building these processes can transfer into anything else. Because I've done a lot of things in my life, and the same thing applies. The way and functions that I structure, and that's the same thing. And that's I think that's why that food truck did it, and I applied it here to the restaurant. You know, so it's unconventional to the traditional restaurant worker. So it takes some time, and it takes a lot of patience on our part.
Right.
But now this is why we're successful, because once it clicks.
Yeah.
And you know, when people realize that, they're like, oh shit, this is why it works.
This is why. Yeah. And you know, and that's smart that everybody knows everything.
Yeah.
So you can, it's a like an empathy thing where when you're working at wherever you're working at, you know, by sense, you can sense wherever somebody else is in the process.
Yeah. And unfortunately, the people that don't get it, they weed themselves
Right.
out, because they're like, man, I don't, this is not for me.
Right.
Hey, no harm, no foul. I see you. No, we're going to give you the respect.
Yeah.
But, you know, hopefully they gain something and they can take it to somewhere else. You
Right.
know, I give them everything they ask for. You know, when at the interview process, or when they come in, they ask for a certain amount. They say, hey, I can do this. I need this. I say, okay, you got it. It's up to them to prove that, right? You know, I see you, because a lot of people are broken. They you know, they've been treated a certain way. We're different.
Yeah.
It's up to you to prove that, you know, and we do that. And a lot of people, you know, especially out here, and it sucks. And they see it, because I'm gonna hold you to it.
Right.
You say it, all right.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna give it to you. Go ahead.
Right.
I want you to do that. It's gonna make our team stronger.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And they might do it for a little bit, but they you know, they fizzle out real quick, because the difference is the owner is here working with them, holding them accountable.
Right.
So they can't maintain it because they're not about it.
Right.
And then they take themselves out, you know,
Right.
because they don't want to do that to the team. They realize, hey, I'm not that person. Well, hopefully they learn something and they can take that on to help somebody else.
Right.
It's how you change things.
You're dropping seeds, regardless.
Yeah.
Right.
And it doesn't cost me nothing.
Right.
You know, so hopefully we can change things by doing that. You know, the burden's on us, really. You know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, you're the owners, right? It's always on you. You know, and I feel that a lot of business owners, they do put and expect more from their employees than they expect from themselves. And that's when it crumbles, right?
No,
It's like a house of cards.
It's not their business. The employees didn't make the decision to make that business.
Right.
You know, that I think that's a twisted way of thinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know?
100%.
But I think those business owners created that business just solely for money. The money's gonna come, like I said. You know,
I nailed it.
We think a little bit differently, right? She's more on the business side, kind of like doing that, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm more like the hopeful kind of, you know, life perspective kind of person. But you know, I think unconventionally, and I get that. But you know, I'm proof of the way I do things that it can be successful. And at the same time, we can build people. And this is how you change things. It doesn't have to be that way. You can still live in a capitalist society and still benefit people.
So
that's what people want. That's what people keep. And this is where we have in this issue in society. Like, you can do it, but if nobody does it, like, okay. So we're just doing it at the grassroots level, at the smallest space level, you know, and we're happy. And, you know, we get people through the door every day, and we're doing that through food, you know, at the most sacred spot. People come in here, and this is why we're set up in big tables like this. We want people, like, if it's just 2 people, I want people to be able to come in and say, hey, can I sit here? And, you know, maybe strike up a conversation.
Right.
It's about the community. That's it. Through food.
Yeah.
At the base level. Hey, what are you eating? Hey, have you tried this? Man,
that looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is it, you know, because it is a community. We're still a fairly small community in this. We're trying to provide something exciting, you know, and these people care about what they're serving.
Right.
We care about what we're doing. We care about these customers. So we truly care about our employees.
Yeah. And,
you know, it starts with us, you know.
It does.
And
it starts with you, and it goes all the way through your employees, through your processes, out onto the customer's plate.
Yeah. So,
and you can taste it.
So, like, if the business owner, they want to be successful, it starts with them. Like, you have to be everything to everyone.
Right.
I know what that sounds like. It's a lot. Okay. Well, why did you go into business?
Yeah, exactly. It is a lot. And that's intentional, right? Because, you know, the word capitalism gets a bad rap, right? Because when you're after dollars, when you're after profit,
it's freedom.
It can, like anything, it's like fire, right? Fire is good, right? But fire hurt, right?
So what that So what that means to me, like, if in a capitalist society, for me, like, I can switch it up at any time. I can use the cheapest products at any time, still charge what I'm charged for.
Right.
I can pay my employees minimum wage at any time. I could do that. But also, you know, quality goes down. All that stuff goes down.
Everything goes down.
That's your freedom. That's the freedom. I do whatever I want, right?
Right.
But I also can choose to run my business the way I want. You know, the freedom is yours to run your business how you want. That's capitalism.
Right.
Right. I'm doing that. You know, a lot of businesses choose to sell the cheapest product, pay their employees the bare minimum,
right,
and not be present. Okay, that's your model. There's nothing wrong with it. That's your business. This is my business. I'm trying to change things.
Right.
And so far it's working.
Right.
You know, we don't know anything, and we've had our ups and downs, but we're still learning it. And so far, to be seen, we've had nothing but success. And, you know, we're going to keep going, and we're adjusting it as we go.
For sure.
Because we're still young at this. And, you know, we're happy.
Yeah. You know, and some of the largest businesses ever had that perspective, right? If you provide value, you take care of your customer, you take care of your people, you're going to be successful. You know?
Seems simple to me.
It's a simple equation. You know? It is like, why is it not prevalent, I guess?
Yeah.
You know, it's out there. It happens a lot, but...
Yeah. And the way it's structured, this restaurant is, and it's me. And the basis of it is around respect and freedom. I really can do anything with that menu.
Yeah.
And that's freedom for me to create. I can put anything on that menu in it, and my customers wouldn't think it's weird.
No.
Because, you know, and that's intentional. And it's respect out of myself using whatever I want to do, because I like using things that are of quality. And I respect my customers, and I respect myself, and I respect my employees, because I want to give them the best. I want to eat the best, you know. I tell my employees and live by the golden rule, you know. If you're cooking and, you know, I'm serving this, do I feel okay with this? And if the answer is no, don't do it.
Right.
You know, so this is why I put the stuff on there. Like, is it the stuff I really want to create? No, but on the whole, for a restaurant, our community is not there. I want to really push the envelope. I want to make some really cool stuff that, you know, in the bigger cities are making.
Right.
But on the whole, you know, a lot of people won't buy it. So we're giving something that's approachable.
Right.
And still providing just different enough. Mm-hmm. But is not something that everyone's doing. So when people start to copy us, okay, we're on the right track.
You are.
Right. Yeah. And, you know, if another business does it a little bit better than us and is using some of these flavors, all right, this is what I want.
Right.
So now I can turn it up a little bit more. Now I can go. You know, this is why we got the Korean barbecue sauce on there. Now we're going to do the Korean ribs. All right, now we're going to start getting into it. And this is what I want. This is what's going to highlight our city and our area.
Right.
And it is a process, you know, as this region and the city gets livelier, we get more people and people respect it. This is where we're at. And it's a process and it takes time, patience, but I'm here for it. We're not going anywhere. Again, it goes back to legacy.
Right. And you're getting a pretty good jump on that.
Yeah.
Like you're being recognized outside of the city.
Yeah, and that's the point.
Right. Like let everybody know, what was it Texas Monthly you got in?
Yeah, so we're in Texas Monthly. Like, they were trying to highlight us before we even opened. That was strange. And then they were trying to come in a few months into it, and we turned them down a few times. And then I think in May, right after we opened, we're like, all right, I think we're okay enough for you to come in. And
well, you showed up. We didn't really have a choice.
Yeah,
we had to be ready.
Yeah, and he came in. It was the taco editor for Texas Monthly, and you know, because, you know, Jose, he'll let you know, like he writes bad articles on people, and you know, I was like, no, dude, like, we're not a taco shop. Like, we have tacos on there, but you know, we'll get down on some tacos, but we want to create a fun menu,
right?
You know, and I the places he goes to is the best of the best, and we can do that. We really can, and the things that we're coming up with, you know, in the future are really going to highlight what we really can do. You know, we've just really been hard on the barbecue route. We're really pushing barbecue, but as we progress, the rest of the menu is going to change. It's going to evolve, right. And the quality of the stuff is really going to get really artisanal. Really, there's nothing no one's going to be able to really recreate what we're making, and it's just a process. But yeah, he called us out on our tortillas and stuff, and we knew that. We know what it is. We're not a taco shop, like I said.
Right.
But if we were a taco shop, we would be making our tortillas. We'd be doing this stuff. But just that we got his attention. I mean, this man travels the world. He's the only taco critic in the country.
Oh, wow.
He's got 3 James Beard Awards for his literature. Like, it's serious, you know. Yeah. And then we were featured again, but Texas Monthly, for Good Stock was our beef by Nolan Ryan. You know, and then just recently we were nominated by the Texas Restaurant Association, for the Deep in the Heart Award, and we were against restaurants that had been in business for 70, 50, and restaurateurs that were 30 years and us a year and a half in.
Yeah,
and that award was for chefs and restaurants that are changing the restaurant business outside the metropolitan areas. You know, and I was looking at these restaurants and like, they do pretty linear stuff, pretty common stuff, you know, and for us, we are doing things differently. We didn't win, but for us to be nominated,
just be nominated a year and a half,
being nominated against these restaurants that come from that world and have been so long, it was an honor, you know. But you know, it's not the end for us. We're gonna keep going and keep pushing it, but we're being looked at. Yeah, we're being looked at, and that's the goal. Yeah, we're not after a Permian Basin. we're after Texas.
Right.
You know, we're Permian Basin. We want our community to be after us, but we want to be highlighted in Texas, and that puts Permian Basin on the map. So,
Right.
you know, that sounds bad. Like, we're not after Permian Basin, we're after Texas, but that's just a given. Like, that's going to be highlighted in Permian Basin, because all the connections and the people that I've talked to and the friends that I've made in Texas, worldwide, they don't even look at us. They don't look at Permian Basin. They just pass right by us.
Right.
They go to the barbecue places in Lubbock. They go out to El Paso. They go out to Marfa and,
Right.
you know, Marathon. They don't care about anything.
Right.
And what's crazy to me is that there's some long time running restaurants here that have that platform, and you know, they I don't, you know, no disrespect to them, but they just choose not to do that. That's their business, you know. And you know, I've always said I'm not the barbecue guy, but I'm the one bringing that stuff here. You know, we're helping bring a barbecue festival here. You know,
Yes.
before that, we were trying to put a barbecue festival on, and we were approached to help facilitate that, and
Yeah.
it's huge. So,
Right.
you know, this is the work we're putting in, and this is who we are, and we're going to continue to do that for Midland. So, whether or not, you know, our community is with us, we're for the community, and we're going to continue doing that. You know,
And I think it's reflected because, I mean, if you get here too close to noon, you waiting in line. You know, so every time we're gonna meet somebody here for lunch,
Right.
we gotta be here before 11:30.
you know, now, but traditionally, our customers has never been the people that are from here. You know, our customers are, you know, the people that are transplants like us. You know, and that's our market. I know our market, point blank. You know, but that's the market that we're tapping into.
Yeah.
You know, because I think there's I don't think people know who we are. And Midland, Odessa, I think they really like to support their hometown people.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But this is our home now. This is
Right.
who we are. This is why we invested in this place. We're not going anywhere. And, you know, we put a restaurant called Pachuco's in downtown Midland.
Wild.
That's
Wild in itself. That right there, right? Statement.
We're not scared.
Yeah.
We're not scared. And you know, I think when we actually have a conversation of what this is, we're for everyone. We're for everyone, and we're going to continue to put the Permian Basin, you know, on the map. And we don't have time for, you know, these ideologies and these petty arguments that really don't matter.
Doesn't matter.
You know, so we were just about fun and building the community and making this fun.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, and honestly, just because you're a year and a half into the restaurant, right? How many years did you have the food truck all together?
I mean, since we became a business 2019, but we didn't come out till 2020,
Right.
January.
Yeah.
And even at that, we only come out on the weekends.
Every few weekends, 2 weekends out of the month, because we were both still working at the oil field.
Uh-huh.
On our weeks off.
Entrepreneurs and small business owners, are you searching for ways of taking your business to the next level? BAM is your answer. We specialize in crafting high-performance marketing strategies that put your brand front and center right in the palm of your customers' hands. Not only can we create a premium website full of features that optimize your social media and digital marketing presence, but we ensure that your brand gets multiple views from your target audience and even those visiting your competition. BAM is your go-to solution in the Permian Basin. But we're not just about digital and social media marketing. We're a one-stop shop offering a spectrum of services, including business mentorship, strategic planning, market research, and access to capital. That's right. We can get you funding to expand your business. With BAM, you're not just getting a service, you're gaining a partner committed to your growth for the life of your business. So why wait? Kickstart your journey to success today. Call us to set up a free consultation and discover how BAM can help your business soar above the rest. 432-247-8840. Call today and get your business launched.
So everything that in your all's lives that leads to you sitting here right here today in your own restaurant, decorated to y'all's vision. You know, I can sympathize, you know, to a large extent, you know, because I'm there with y'all, right? So when you look at when you look back in the rear view, you know, you're like, wow, how
We do that all the time.
did I end up here, right? When you're reflecting,
Yeah.
you know, like Miss Idalia, you know, did you ever think you would be sitting in your own restaurant alongside your husband, like doing it, making it happen?
Not in a million years. Not in a million years. Like, it's crazy. You know, we still sit here and we're just like, this is ours. We own this. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even cook, but I own a restaurant with my husband in downtown Midland. Like,
Yeah.
it is crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's
been a
it's
ride.
an awesome experience to
It is.
to what do you call it, to grasp the magnitude of it.
Right.
It's surreal.
It is surreal.
It's a surreal
Yeah.
And then to be doing it with your best friend, your partner, it's just, you know, it's unheard of. You know, most people say don't work with family, you know,
Right.
don't partner with family, but I never would have done it without him. You know, I couldn't have. And we complement each other really well. Like,
Yeah.
it takes both of us to do this,
to make it happen.
to make it happen. Yeah.
Yeah, because you both have, you know, your qualities that really fit together like missing piece of puzzles, right?
Yeah.
You know, like if y'all weren't together, you'd be out there just floating around missing. You'd be, you know, like what what kind of life is this, right? But together you've created something, and then you created this restaurant, right? You know, and
It's almost like it's supposed to happen.
We're exactly where we're supposed to be.
exactly where you're supposed to be.
Everything we've done before this has led us, you know, it's experiences we've gained, knowledge we've gained to get us to where we are now.
Right.
You know,
So, but we both been through some really difficult things. Like, we've always had to prove ourselves. And if we quit at any point after like those hardships, like, I don't think we've been here. Like, right? I think we're just those people. Like, we're not gonna quit. Time and time again, like, we've always been in those venues. Like, we're always thought less than, but we don't quit. We always keep having to prove ourselves. And like, for me, I was like, man, I'm never gonna reach that pinnacle that I want. I'm never gonna be that. I could be the smartest guy in the room. I can be the hardest worker in the room. I'm never gonna be that. And that goes for me. Like, I had to be truthful to myself, and that holds a lot of weight. You just got to be truthful for yourself.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, y'all messed up. I have the means now. You know, I've done everything for everyone, and I put myself in a position to be successful.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have those means if I didn't do that stuff. If I didn't embrace the suck. If I didn't do those things nobody else wanted to do with a smile on my face, and I know she did too. You know, being looked down on or being looked less than, being a Hispanic woman in the oil field.
An engineer in the oil field. Wow.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's quite an accomplishment.
Or trying to get on to, you know, these big oil field companies, you know, not fitting the mold is hard.
Yeah.
You know, and I know what that feels like. So screw it. We're gonna do our own thing.
You're gonna do it? Yeah.
You know, and that's just what it is. You know, and now I have control over those things. We have control over those things, and there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's path is different. This is our path. You know, I'm just not gonna choose to continue to live in that world. I'm not. Enough's enough. I'm tired of proving myself to people. I'm tired of doing that, you know. And I saw my out. I saw that, hey, I don't have to do that anymore, you know. So let's do it.
That's right. Let's do it. And I think that's a great point, because if you're not authentic, then you're bowing down, or you're breaking down to what somebody else's will.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're not following your heart, you're not following your intuition, your gut. If you're not doing that, then it's literally conflicted. Right. It's the definition of conflicted. Right. But when you find your path, right? What is it? What is that old poem? Conversed upon a path in the woods, and I took the path less traveled on. Yeah. Right. That's what you're doing, right? And so often that is blazing that trail into the uncharted territories.
Yeah.
You know, when I was in high school, I think we took right after I graduated, I can't remember, but I took a trip across the country, right? And my dad just said, hey, wait, you're going into uncharted territories. You know, I think I was going to East Coast, right? East Coast. I mean, my dad had never been to East Coast; he's only been West, right? So when I went to East Coast, he was like, "Hey, you're venturing into uncharted territories." And
I can't help you,
right? Basically, and I was like, "Yeah, I didn't think about that." And he was like, "Good, you're ready. Go. You know, just don't die." No, but you know, he always wanted me to do that. Right. Yeah. To not. I remember one time we went shopping for shoes, and everybody was getting what are the Brooklyn Nights? You remember those?
The BK.
The BKs,
night,
right?
Yeah.
Everybody was getting
the British Nights.
The British Nights. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Everybody was getting those in the fancy kinds of weird designs, right? And the guy was trying to sell me a pair of those, and I was like, I just want black. You know, he's like, really? It's like, yeah. And I could like feel my dad just like, you know, because the guy even said, all the kids are getting them, you know, all the kids your age are don't you want these? I'm like, nah. You know, what are they, like 120 at that time? You know, they're like $120, $130 shoes.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean? They was, I don't know how much they were, but.
Puro payless acá.
Man, yeah. We get the $40 shoes quick.
Yeah.
You know, but I
your dad love you.
Yeah, no, he really did, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But he always pushed me to look outside the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. I grew up the same way, you know, I was first generation college student, so I was the one who had to set the path, you know, for my brother and sister. You know, my parents came here from Mexico, so I'm the first to graduate from high school and then college. And I grew up wanting to be a doctor. You know, I wanted to be a pediatrician, work in oncology. And my senior year of high school, I was like, I don't want to go to school for that long. Never mind. I'll be an engineer instead. And I had all these plans and dreams and, you know, supportive parents.
Yes.
You know, that's
because they wanted you to.
They wanted us to do better. Like, I was literally cleaning toilets with my mom all summer so that way I could, you know, buy my school clothes, buy, you know, just anything I needed. Was cleaning houses with my mom all summer.
Yeah.
That was my childhood. And, you know, like they really helped me become who I am. You know, you got to push yourself. You got to don't fit the mold, you know, like step outside of your comfort zone. Small town, Denver City, graduated with 80 people and then went to Texas A&M where my classes were thousands of people, you know, like
one class was more than your entire school.
My entire high school. Yeah. So it was tough.
And
but
that is intimidating.
It is very.
Right.
It is very. And then I went into petroleum engineering where out of those, you know, hundreds of people, there were only maybe 10 girls.
And then
so, I think I've always just kind of stepped outside the mold and kind of taken the road less traveled on.
Right.
You know, I came out here and met Ruben actually out in the field, you know, out on a frack site.
She got suckered.
So.
Sorry.
Yeah, that was my first job, was out on a frack site. Met him actually the first day.
The first day out
on the field.
Oh, wow.
And had to prove myself to a bunch of guys, you know.
She didn't have to prove herself to me.
I was I always tell everybody, oh, that's how I know it was real. Like, he met me when I was sweaty, full of oil and grease and no makeup on, and
Right.
he fell in love with me that way.
It's just
That's how you know it's real.
Yeah.
So,
wow. That's what's up. That's a, things happen for a reason, right?
yeah.
This and synchronicity in the meaning behind that moment. That the chances of you being in there, right, at the same time, your first day,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything happens for a reason. Like, there's a path set out for us, and we're on that path. We're exactly where we need to be, exactly where we need to go, whether we know it or not. Whether it's planned or not. Where you're at in the moment is exactly where you need to be.
right.
You'll learn something, it'll help you grow, whether it's, later on you're taking a totally different path like we are right now. Everything we did, everything we learned has helped us to get here.
Right. So looking in the rear view, you can only connect the dots looking backwards.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you can't plot it out. You can have goals.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can say, oh, I want to achieve this.
Yeah.
And best hope is you get close. Either if it's overshooting or, around, but, whoever, I don't know if anybody ever in the history of everybody ever that ever existed 50 years before said, I'm going to do that exactly and hit it precisely.
Mm-hmm.
You get close, but only looking back, you're like, oh yeah, well, I was supposed to be where I'm at here now. Yeah. And right now it's where I'm supposed to be. And I think the only question really is left is, okay, it's the same one that was back then. It's like, what's next? Where am I going now?
Yeah. To be open to it.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point, right? Be open to it. Not force.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think when you try and force things.
Yeah. You gotta change your mindset. Like, it's just, for most people, it's just like, I do that to everybody. It's just a tweak in your mindset, really. Like, once you break your mindset and how to think a little bit differently, you'll see how different possibilities open up to you.
Yes.
And it's once you break it, it's hard to explain. And that's what I try to do here, like with my people. Like, it sounds crazy, but it's the people that get it,
Right.
and their lives instantly change. I don't know what happened. I don't know when it happened, but as soon as that happened, like, my life changed and things started happening differently for me. And I see the world differently. I see people differently. But yeah, you just have to be open to experiences and people differently, and it happens. I don't know how to put it. And
No, it is a very flip of the switch,
yeah,
and you don't know how that switch got flipped.
You just have to be open to it. It's like an energy.
Well, I mean, everything's energy, right? Everything,
Truly.
everything. Frequency, talk about, like, engineering, and the physics of it. Right? I know, because I went to school for engineering too. Didn't graduate, but it's very rigid. Structure, right? Until, right, when you get into the advanced classes, then things start getting kind of weird, right? You're like, what? Thermodynamics? Wait.
I'm doing that back there in the pit.
Yeah.
I've already been there. I don't have to take a college course for that.
Well, I think, like, it's for you. It's a feeling. You go with your intuition.
It's already built in, Papa.
Yeah, like intuition, right?
Yeah. It is a feeling.
It's like when a while ago. Okay, so we were here sitting recording. And you were like, "Hey, hold on, I gotta go check my meat."
Yeah.
Right. It's like the meat was talking to you.
Yeah.
Like you heard it.
Half of
following
them.
you out.
Yeah. Half of the briskets had to come out. It was perfect.
There you go. It's the intuition, right? It's the the touch and the sense of a master, right? You are in process at the upper levels of mastering your craft.
Yeah, and that's a lot of people aren't built that way. I know she's not built that way. She has to have these hard things. I go through feeling that I feel things. I sense
structured.
things.
I have to have my plan, my goal, like everything, kind of structured and laid out.
As is, right.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I'm a good baker, but not a good cook. And he can cook and create,
but he can't bake food.
He's learning to bake,
I can
weird.
I can bake if I need to. Like if I shut everything off and if I'm being boring,
follow the rules.
If I just like, all right, I'm gonna read everything and just bam, 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 bam. I'm not gonna think about anything else. Just live in there. That's what it's gonna be.
So I have to say this, right? Because I get down in the kitchen too. But what you're doing here, to be able to repeat that on a daily and teach somebody to repeat your dish, that I've thought about.
That's
this
hard.
has to be one of the hardest things.
Yeah, that's really hard for me.
Because and I'm sure you're the same way. You can just go into any kitchen, any house, and get whatever's in the cupboard, whatever's in the fridge, and make something awesome. That's what I do, right? I can take a bunch of random things and throw it together, and people are like, "What did you just make?" "I don't know. You like it?" "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Can you do it again?" I can't do it again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could probably get close.
Yeah.
But there's no way I'd ever be able to give you a recipe to do that. No way.
I've made a lot of dishes like that, and that was our biggest problem when we first opened up, because I can recreate dishes tons of times just by recreating them, and I never like measured this stuff out.
Right.
So like with Jaime and Idalia and a lot of the restaurant people that are hired, we had to get together and physically I had to like
show them
from my hand to a measuring cup and to a scale. I had to measure this stuff out to like dial it in, and some of the stuff, it took a long time to really put this stuff to get it right, because I'm just not built like that. I'm just so used to like doing it by hand and feel,
right?
I'm just not built like that. And these guys that are from the restaurant world are,
they're used to it, and it has to be.
I don't live like that, and I can't, like, when I see like measurements, it throws me off.
I know. Yeah. It was like, that might be okay for another day, but today it needs a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because I've been told, like, hey, you should open up a food truck. It's like, no, I shouldn't. No, I shouldn't. Because if I opened up any, like, a restaurant, any kind of food, it would probably be called the Daily Special.
Yeah. And there's restaurants that do that.
I'll just cook, and if you want to come in and eat what I'm
get
cooking
what
today,
you get in that day. Yeah.
Then cool. But if not, that's cool too. Yeah, but I have a immense respect for what you're doing here. That's one of the reasons, right? Like, how do you take something that you're obviously an artist at and recreate that day in, day out?
I have a lot of great help.
Yeah,
I have a lot of great help. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
To do it at that level without my wife, without everybody on my team. Honestly.
So it's almost like you need an engineer.
No, of course.
Wait, an engineer with an MBA.
With an MBA.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, all that boring stuff that I'm not good at. That's what she's fantastic at, and that's special, and that's the stuff that, I'm terrible at. That's not, to me, that doesn't click. I'm never gonna be good at it. That's like torture to me, and for her, that's. She makes sense to her. Like, she gets excited about that. They're just built differently, and
right.
It's beautiful. And it's the stuff that I find exciting. She doesn't get it, and it's completely different to her.
Right.
And then we meet in the middle, and it just makes sense. It's
right.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would venture to say that the crew that you have now, right, been open for a year and a half. You've had some come, you've had some go, you've had some from since day one that are still with you, right? So the crew that is melded together right now, what you just said about you two could probably be said for your crew, right? Everybody has their own strengths, their own morals, their own, way
different
they do
backgrounds.
things, different backgrounds, but it works and it clicks, right? So when y'all get flooded for lunch, it's just another day in office. It's chaos. It's controlled chaos,
right?
Because y'all have learned that rhythm.
Yeah. So for me, I pay attention to who these people are from day one, and that's where I put them where what fits them the best. And that's because I pay attention to mannerisms. I pay attention to who people are, and I fit them where they're gonna shine.
Right.
And then work off of that once they're comfortable.
Have you been surprised?
Yeah, by everyone. But that's the point. I want them to grow.
Yeah.
I want them to be better. And that's what we're doing here.
100%. I feel that when I have an employee on, I want to be able to work with them so that one day when they're ready, they can start their own business.
Exactly.
They can get it done. You want to grow your people because they're helping you in the moment grow you. Right? So I think the way you're doing things, I think it's a good lesson for entrepreneurs out there, for business owners, in how they should probably take a look at how they're developing their employees, they're developing their staff.
Yeah.
Is it a purely transactional, right? Or are you putting in more than you're getting back, right? Because you want to, I think that this goes true for anything, right? You want to be able to give more than you get back.
Yeah, I think for us, that's the whole point.
Yeah, the goal isn't to have these employees here with us forever, working for us forever. It's to give them that knowledge, that set of skills, to go do what they want, to go hopefully open a restaurant right next to us and be our competitors.
Let's go.
And if they do, that's great too. That's somebody like, all right, we've done our job too at the same time. There's some people here that I would love to have, given my eulogy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's how I feel about it. That's legacy, going back to that. It's just being real. Yeah.
Man, you just hit me hard right there, man.
Seriously.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about these people.
No, that's real. I'm just thinking back because I gave Michael's eulogy.
Yes, sir.
And that's a deep.
That's how Michael thought about it, and that's truly how I think about it. That's what I think about this.
Yeah.
This is more than just food.
It's more than food. Yeah. And just on that conversation, right now, my one and only employee, Rashawn, right? We're already developing him to start his own consulting company. He's already has his LLC for it.
I saw that.
Right? He already has his, he's already doing it, right? Or he's setting up to do it while he's helping me build, right? And I've been asking him about that. And he's like, hey, are you cool with that? I was like, the one who told him to do it. Yeah. I want him to do it, because that gives him incentive to learn the craft, right? And then I'm there to kind of guide him, because our thing is, hey, help me build this. I will help you build an empire. So I think it's a mutual exchange of where we are in life. Because he's a young 20-something. I'm getting to be an old dog already. And the torch has to be passed.
Of course.
You know, I received the torch from my mentor. You know, so I think that's how business should be ran. You know, have you heard of that? There's a company. There's even a branch out here. It's called Tiger Industries. Have you heard about them? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the engineer. Yeah. So the founder, Tiger Industries. Do you know about him?
No.
So he's this old school cat. He worked for decades until he was like in his, like, I think 80s or 90s. Right? He's worked. Right?
It's gonna be me.
Same here, man. Same. Yeah. I'm never retiring. Right? Well, this cat, there's been so many businesses that started because of the employees that came out of Tiger Industries.
Oh, wow.
They call them the Cubs, Tiger Cubs.
That's awesome.
Right? Because, and a lot of those Cubs have been super successful.
Yeah.
Right? Because Tiger Industries is a global company. Right? So there's Cubs around the globe that were developed inside this company.
That's
You know?
beautiful.
It's a beautiful thing, and I think that's like a model, right? It's a business model that, especially like in the service or intellectual, like the IP kind of where you have something where you're able to pass on, like a restaurant, you're able to pass on knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, it's the passing of the torch, the passing of knowledge of how to operate. You know, how to treat your people. You know, then that, you know, because we're thinking about this. I was talking to Brashan about this. And, man, you're gonna be a BAM baby.
Yeah.
You know.
So that's like with food, like you have to change the culture. Like people say, hey, we need to change the minimum wage to this. Okay, so you have to break it down. You have to go back to the base levels, the service, the quality, all this stuff plays into effect. You just can't go in and do this and expect all this. Like it takes real change on all levels, you know, and it's just a better quality of life for everything, you know. You're being fed garbage and you're getting garbage service, but that takes a lot of work, you know, and you're asking these mega corporations to do that. You know, what's the point of it all? You know, it's just fluff, I think.
Yeah.
It's just all fluff, you know, it's all politics, and
That's it.
Doesn't matter.
It's pandering for both.
Yeah. So I don't get all that rhetoric. Like, we're doing that here, and I think that's where real change comes from. It's from the community level,
the ground floor,
and that's what we're doing here.
Yeah. And that's the only place change comes from.
It's real change.
It never comes from top down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's from the ground floor. And you know, and I back in the day, I used to be super opinionated about who my favorite clown was.
Yeah.
You know, now I don't engage. Do not engage. I laugh at the memes.
Yeah.
You know, but other than that, I'm all you can really control is what's in front. Right? It's right here, right now. You know, because it's true. Anybody who wants power is unworthy of that power.
Yeah, there's a problem.
Baseline.
Freedom and respect. That's it.
That's it. You know, and if you're asking for power, if you're asking for the title, if you're asking, you know, for respect, you don't deserve it.
Yeah.
It's not yours. You know, like what did Ben Franklin say? He said, you know, somebody asked him, what have you created for us, Mr. Franklin, a republic? Or, you know, he said, well, if you can hold on to it, something like that, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and it's become a mockery of, you know, but other than that, all you can do is what's in front of you, like right here, like what you guys have created right here. It's so unique. It's like a thumbprint. You know, it's literally your own fingerprint. You know, which is not repeatable. Yeah,
we want to repeat it. You know.
Yeah,
we'll see. We're open to it, and you know, and if it's just this, we're happy with it. So.
Yeah. So the repeatable, right? Like there's take the most obvious one, the McDonald's, right? You know, you can repeat something so much that you kill it. It may be great financially,
Yeah.
right? And we're getting back to the what's your purpose? Are you after lots of dollars?
Yeah.
Or are you trying to provide value to people? You know, like McDonald's doesn't provide any value to anybody.
No, but I think there's some companies out there that they've scaled just enough to, you know, change some things and they still do it right. You know, there are some companies out there. And I think that's healthy. I think that's kind of what we're looking at. But and if it doesn't, I think we're okay with what we have now and just making it just a little bit bigger, and that's it.
Grow without losing yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. And that's
Regionally.
the trick, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How do you grow and still maintain? Right?
Being present.
Man. So yeah, because if you outgrow where you can, it's you. That's hard.
Yeah.
At what point do you, when you're approaching that point, how do you know when to stop? You know, I didn't. You know, you can't. There's no way to answer that right here now. It's just it's a quandary. Like when you're growing, because as a business, that's your purpose. That's your goal of yours.
Mm-hmm.
Grow. Right. You just, because if you don't grow, you're dying.
Right.
If you're stagnant, you're dying. You know, so do have to constantly, you know, brings up one of Michael's most pronounced quotes, right? Keep it fresh, new and
exciting.
Right? You know, how many times y'all hear him say that?
And we used it in the Entrepreneurial Challenge.
Nice.
During our presentation.
He would have loved that. Yeah, he would have loved that.
It's important. It's true.
That's what's stuck. Like, you just always got to keep it fresh, new, and exciting for your customers, you know, or else, like you said, you're dying if you're not.
Right. Constantly changing, constantly staying on mission. Right? You're staying on mission, but you're changing the wrapping, or you know, you're making it where it's, oh wow, what are they doing now?
Yeah.
Right? Like, what did you have the other day? Croquettes or what? Chicken
giant croquette, which it was just a smoked chicken croquette. It's our smoke. So we smoked the chicken leg, took it apart, then mashed potatoes, mixed it with the chicken, Oaxaca cheese, and some green onion. Made it into croquette around the chicken bone, and then dredged it, and then covered it in panko, and then deep fried it. And it just looked like a giant chicken leg.
Wow.
Fried chicken. So it was fun.
It's cool being up here and then like having those customers come in. They're like, hey, what's the special this week? Like, what do y'all have this week? What are y'all working on? You know, it's cool to see them like so excited about it. You know, like they love the menu, but they're like, okay, like what's next? What else?
What else y'all got?
Yeah.
You know, and that's the purpose. That's the attraction. You know?
Yeah.
And then their expectations are met, because their expectation is, one, there's something different back there, doing something different. Two, it's whatever it is, it's gonna be good, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's the expectation, and you're fulfilling your customers' expectation. You know, so man, I just want to say congratulations.
Thank you.
On all your success. You know, I'm proud of you guys. You know, Michael is super proud of you guys. He always has been. You know, and we're really, as BAM, I want to say we're really honored that you guys went, you know, not just went through our program, but were able to embrace it and recognize what it did help you with. Right now, for me, when I look at it, you guys are already set for success, right? Like, you were going to be successful whether BAM was here or not, right? And because y'all are built like that, right? And but just for us to have been a part of your journey, man, me and Michael were always so excited about that. And when when y'all said y'all were getting into the building, and we couldn't say nothing, we're like, oh, we were stoked. We were stoked for you guys, because we knew this was huge. Because Michael was good friends with the previous owners, and he just wanted to see it happen, and he knew the history. He was just like, oh, this is perfect. This is just so perfect. He was like, that building is just perfect for him. But he did say, that's an old building. They're gonna have to. Cut it.
We've dumped a lot of money into this building, and I don't want to dump anymore.
No, we're very fortunate to have met you guys. That there are people like you guys that are here wanting to help small business owners, because we've come to y'all with so many questions and asking for advice because we didn't know what we were doing. So we could have done this on our own, but you guys helped us get here. You guys have helped us along the way, cheered us on, and answered our questions, and just helped us grow. So we're very thankful that people like you guys exist, and
it's a resource that is so important to the community. And people need to know about this. People need to know that they're not alone. They can do it. They can do the same thing.
People rooting for you.
We're really not that special. We're just like everyone else. Just once you set your mind to it and you're willing to work hard, there's people out there that can help you, that have been through it. That's it.
Right. Well, I appreciate you guys.
I appreciate you.
Y'all are special.
You're special.
Aw. Group hug. No, so I really look forward to what you guys what's next, right? Whatever that is, I know it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be awesome, and I want to be there. And I'm just honored and proud to be here with you guys. And let's shake it up, right? That's what we're doing.
We're about to.
You're already doing it, right? Keep shaking it, right?
You ain't seen none.
You ain't seen none yet, man. We're just getting started, right?
Yes, sir.
Hey, so last words, to round out the podcast. Entrepreneurs out there, Ruben, what do you have to say to them?
Just don't be scared. You're in the land of opportunity here. You really can do anything. If you're out here to work, if you're a transplant like us, don't waste it. Get it. This place can be whatever you make it. Do it. And if you're from here, just do it. You don't have to wait on anybody. You don't have to wait for support from your family or anybody. You just do it. You have to believe in yourself. Like I said before, you're not less than. You can do it. Don't waste your life. You only get one of these. So
that's all you get.
And you have a lot of resources out there. You just got to believe in yourself. Don't be afraid.
Reach out for all those resources. There's so many resources to help you get where you want to go.
It's like when you're in class and your teacher says, if you have, there are no dumb questions, right? Ask the question, whatever's in your head to ask, because there's probably somebody else that's thinking the same thing and are too scared to ask the question. So it goes back to don't be scared.
Right.
Be the one that asks the question. Be the one that gain the knowledge.
And don't be afraid to be original. And I think, be creative. I'm constantly looking for something that's true to me, something that's different. I'm constantly looking for the thing that hasn't been done, right? There's tons of people doing the same thing. Same thing over. That's not exciting. If that's really what you want to do, there's nothing wrong with that. that's your business. That's what you want to do. But that doesn't change anything. I'm after change. I'm after exciting things. I'm after that's the thing that's going to set us apart, you know, and that's really the thing that's going to be viable. And it's got to be something that people want. You know, it can't be something so different that it doesn't sell, right?
Right.
Business-wise. So that's something that you have to look at. But don't be afraid to be yourself at the end of it, right? Because you're going to hate if you're not being yourself.
Yeah.
So that's so important. If you can be yourself and you can still make money off of it, you know, you're living a life.
Yeah.
And that's what I got to say is just, then you're not working. You know, like I said, I'm after freedom. And that's what we're doing here.
Freedom chasers.
Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
100%.
All right. Well, appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Angel.
Thank you.
Catch y'all on the flip.
Yes, sir.